Welcome to RacketHive Podcast, the ultimate space for badminton player to learn, grow, and celebrate the sport that we love. I'm your host, DNM, and today we joined by an inspiring figure who's dedicated his life to growing and nurturing the next generation of badminton player in England. Our guest is Frank, a former Hungarian junior champion turned a full-time coach. Despite the challenge in playing the years, passion for sport never wavered, and he's now the chair of Sunrise Badminton Network, coaches at Warrington Youth Zone and Packgate Academy. He's working toward his highest coaching qualification in badminton England as well. How are you, Frank, today?
I'm good, thank you very much. How are you?
I'm good. Thanks for asking. Today's like you rarely get a sun in the UK, so I hope in Warrington right now you get sun as well. I can see the bright and shiny.
No, no, it's not. But we have a hope. Yeah, maybe it will happen later on.
Maybe later on, yeah. I turned on my blind already because of that. Speaking of which, about your badminton career, Frank, would you like to talk about yourself? I know that you came from Hungarian, the UK. What's the difference between what's your background like in badminton, please?
So I met the sport when I was 13. I walked into a sports hall. My sisters played the game. They were okay. And when I first time seen a tournament, it was like lots of people was around the one court, and they just seen someone playing on the court, and that someone was actually a junior. I could hear the voices like, "Oh, I just want the half of the knowledge like him," and it was just so magical to me, and I fell in love with that. And ever since, I'm just doing badminton. I started the training at the age of 14. It's quite late, I know, but I really would love to become better. I really loved it. I found that maybe this is the thing for me to develop a lot, and I just wanted to do that. Yeah, and in 3 years we went to that country tournament, and yeah, it turned out that I developed quite a lot in 3 years. So yeah, we were really good in doubles. And being the coach is something natural to me. So throughout my childhood, I found out later on in my life that throughout my childhood, I loved watching these masters, like in Star Wars. I never wanted to be Skywalker. I wanted to be Yoda. And the same with the Karate Kid. I wanted to be the master. So it was somehow natural to me to become a coach. This is what I wanted to do, and now I do it. So I can say that I'm living the dream. And the transition between the countries, I haven't had lots of chances, to be honest, in Hungary to become a coach and coach juniors. I had some situations where I could show what I could do, but I felt like I cannot thrive over there. So I changed the country, and England gave me this chance actually to become a coach and do what I can do. And now I feel that I'm empowered, and I've got the right qualifications. I've got the right people around me. So I'm really looking forward to what will come out of this.
Amazing. So you were a coach in Hungary, and then now you're a coach in the UK. What's the difference? Do you think the qualification looks like?
It changed a lot at Hungary, to be honest. But in my time, there was no proper qualification which will teach you how to do the training. So it was nearly a year in an evening school, and we learned pedagogy, psychology, time management, and event organizations. So lots of things we learned over there, but we haven't focused on the one thing we are here for, is to learn how to be a good coach. So the practical sessions wasn't as good as here. So basically I learned how to make a good session here in England, and it was just 3 days. So I was like laughing that probably it won't be a really good one, but I was surprised because yeah, I learned quite a lot during these three days. I haven't learned anything else, which is one thing. So safeguarding of children. At that time, there was no focus on it at Hungary. There was some news about bad coaches, but you never heard about the good coaches and why they're good. now I know the difference. So when I go back to Hungary now, the landscape is different. So now they are focusing on these really essential things, and they are also using the BWF qualification. So now you can find more and more good coaches in Hungary who knows how to do the job properly.
What's the difference? I mean, most of us is more of like a player, but then a coach. Like for us who wants to be a coach in the future, maybe like could you enlighten us? Like what's the difference between like level 1, level 2, and level 3, please?
So I'm not really happy with the system now because I know it very well. I'm not really happy with the English system now. So I think level 1 is really good for someone who understands the safeguarding, someone who someone who needs to understand how to make a session. So that's one. That's what in level 1 you can learn, and basic things are like how to handle a group. But I think life is different, and on level 2 you can learn really good technical and tactical stuff. But I really missing the mental stuff of this. So how to act like a coach, how to encourage someone, or how to teach the mentality. So lots of us are unconscious about this, and or subconscious, and it's really hard to make it conscious. It's really hard to realize what we are doing right or wrong, and that's why it's only working if you're working with a more experienced coach. I think that's the cornerstone. So when someone is coming out from level 2, they are now coaches and they can coach on their own legally. And, everybody thinks that they will coach the next generation. Wow, it will be really good. And I will meet the next Lee Chung-wei and wow, it will be magical. But, life is not like that. Life is like that. Meeting with lots of juniors with very low abilities, and are blaming the PE departments here. So they are just weak and they are not moving very smart. So they need to be taught for fundamental movement skills, which is not just required for badminton, it's required for life, I think, just to walk on the street or just to run after the bus. I'm not really happy with that part. But, that's why I know what to do with the children. So I would encourage everybody to deal with those really youngsters, because you never know who will be the one like me that they will decide that they will do everything and they will sacrifice all the time and do the training. You never know. You never know. And if I could achieve something in 3 years like that, to become on the top of the country in doubles, you never know. You just never know. You cannot give up on children. So that's what I want to say, because you never know.
One day you might just train a national player, and then that's the goal for coach, I guess. Right. So what was the challenges for junior when it comes to coaching?
So some of them not really know what a coach is, and they are often have this thinking about like you being a teacher, but you're not. So there's a significant difference between teaching and coaching. So teachers can talk about badminton for hours, but they have no idea how to play the game. They are not really knowledgeable. There are some rare cases where the teacher is actually a badminton player, but most of the teachers have no idea. But the coach will not talk. It depends from the child, but the coach will not talk that much. The coach will play with the child, or let them play more, so the child can experience what badminton is really. So first thing that they are struggling to understand what a coach is, and some of them are facing with this weird authority because it's not school. Sorry.
No, I mean, did they treat you as a play buddy?
Yeah, so it's different. And the other thing is that the side of the parents is really important in junior coaching. So they are saying that what the junior does not know, and I'm telling them that they are not strong enough to do that. So lots of juniors are capable to do the technique on their own, but they are doing the things like how to rotate the forearm or how to step everything. But it's really complex, and to put everything together, it just takes time. So sometimes you see a junior with low abilities, and in 1 year, they will be able to do the proper footwork, the proper power generation, and even if they are small, they can make a big shot. And that's something what you are working for, for these little successes. So I think being patient is the biggest problem here for the coaches, and evaluating themselves, like how to recognize that I made a good session with juniors. Sometimes if they are just smiling at the end, that's good. That was good. Yeah, measuring success is not easy for a coach, but for the juniors, it's the same. So if they make lots of mishits on a session, they feel unsuccessful, and they might leave the sport just because of that. But lots of juniors have no sense of balance on that way. So when they are looking up and they are going backwards, and they do need to do something with their hands on a different rhythm, and then get the rhythm back, and then see the shots after that, it's just so complex. So it's really complex for the junior, and adults need patience to understand, and also the juniors need patience to understand that it's complex. It's not easy. Lots of people think that badminton is easy. No, it's not. It's easy to pick up a racket because it's lightweight, but it's not easy to use.
What was the roadmap, do you think, is difference between a junior and like adults? Like, do they share the same kind of a routine when it comes to learning how to play badminton as a beginner?
I think at some ways adults are easier, but also more difficult. So adults has the muscles, but their body is not educated enough to move on that way. So it's easier to explain to them what to do and what to do differently. And if they are proficient enough in badminton, so they can distinguish between the moves with the arms, between the shots, it's easier to teach them how to do it better, how to avoid the injury, how to do this and that. They will understand the risk. Children won't. Yeah, they are not understanding the risk. They just do it on their own, and there are some children who doesn't listen at all. They just want to do it on their way, and I let them do it, because that, for some children, that's the way to learn. So they will learn on that way. So some just doing the shots for half a year on a wrong way. You keep telling them what to do, so they got the feedback, but they just not change. Children need to play a lot, and sometimes, not all the times, but sometimes it's easier to tell them to hit it over there, just pointing to a corner, and they will find out how to do that. And after that, they are really unsuccessful hitting the shuttle to one point, they will start listening. So I think we just need to find a way to each other, and it takes time also. So down to patience again.
Right, I see. Yeah. What keeps inspiring? As a junior coach, and you when you're teaching those juniors, they are always like moving around, trying to play, or sometimes get demotivated easily. What were the things you think is a secret weapon to keep them motivated and inspired to play badminton?
The sessions needs to be varied. You need to mix everything. Sometimes you as a coach feel that it would be more beneficial to do the same thing, because that's how I feel. They just need to learn the foundation, but it's not enjoyable enough for them. And I'm talking about under 12s. So under 12s needs a lot of games, and you just need to achieve on a different way how to do lots of overhead shots, to make this shoulder movement proper, make the forearm rotation proper, make the tracking of the shuttle proper with the eyes. So if they are just playing, they can focus on the shuttle instead of the hard technique. If you give them a condition like, you can't smash now, you can only do lifts or drop shots. Most of the juniors not like drop shots, because it's not as cool as a smash or something, or hitting a big one into the shuttle. So they are forced to do that, and actually they can enjoy it. And if you give them the condition that you're going to lose the rally if you don't do that, then the other will win easily. So it's a continuous change what you need to do. So if you're just seeing the session on yesterday, I'm dealing with under 12s only in the youth zone. It's a youth organization. It's really good. It's brilliant. They are giving the court for us for an hour, and we can use it for another one. But the thing is that it's really a safe place, and it's a brilliant location for badminton. So the height is good, the lights are good, so it's just amazing. It's what I wanted to say. Wait. So what was the question? Sorry, again, could you help me?
How do you keep them inspired? You just mentioned there's a lot.
Yeah. So we're always doing something different with them. Sometimes we are running, sometimes we are doing the rock paper scissors, and then we are, the winner runs to one direction and the loser needs to catch. Sometimes we're doing like chasing each other on the line, then you can only move side steps. So we try. These are mainly for warm up, but this is forcing them to do one type of things, focusing on staying on the lines, moving side steps, and then try to find who's chasing them. Yeah, sometimes we can say that sometimes you're not doing badminton coaching, you're doing actually a PE session, a fun PE session. But this is something required because otherwise they won't be strong enough, they can't focus enough. Just imagine that you're just playing a long rally. Let's say it's just 20 shots. For them, it's really long. You're just playing a long rally. And you need to track the shuttle. You need to follow what you're doing with your legs. You need to make sure that the racket is in the right position to generate the power. You just need to see what's going on the other side. It's really hard. So they need to learn how to focus as well during these little games. It looks like a little game and they enjoy it, but they are really focusing on doing it right. So yeah, sometimes you're doing a fun PE session for young ones, but it's really beneficial for them.
I assume, yeah. It's like it could be, if I'm a parent, I would just put them in badminton coaching rather than daycare. Because it's gonna be fun. They can learn a new skill, and they just don't have to go to daycare. They're just playing for nothing, right? Sometimes.
Well, not exactly. So it's also for me my ethos that the child needs to listen to me. Otherwise, we can't work together. So if there's a child who's just running around and not listening, needs to be handled.
I assume, yeah. I assume. You have to kick them because the whole group is going to be affected by his behavior. How many persons do you teach in the group normally?
So it's based on the number of courts. Sometimes I've got only 3 courts, sometimes 4. Trying to keep it to a sensible level. So for 4 courts, it's 16, 18 people maximum. I can do that with no help at the moment. But I'm looking for young coaches, so if you are interested, then just let me know. On 3 courts, it's 12 to 14 people. But if I've got help, I can put 20 people on there and they will work properly, and it will be a really intense session. So we can do that, but it's not without help. Yeah, I'm trying to entertain as many as possible. I believe in the group sessions more than the one-to-ones. One-to-ones are really good for the ones who taking it seriously and really focusing on development. So I don't believe in the one-to-ones which will lead nowhere. I think it's a waste of time. Even if I earn money, I would go for the group sessions. That's how I see it.
Oh, okay. So you prefer them going to group session rather than one-to-one?
Yeah, the group session is inspiring. So you can what people are doing all the time, they're comparing themselves to others, and that's what happened in the group session. Yeah, you can see that everybody can do it, but you can't. And now why is that? And you start thinking, okay, maybe I should try it a bit with a bit more effort, or maybe I'm doing something wrong. Yeah, you will start finding the problem in yourself, which is there. They are just juniors, so they are learning. That's fine. But yeah, I really love the group sessions. I really love the intensity of the group sessions. What the children can do, not me. So more children doing more intense. If it's too many children, then yeah, it's a problem. But if you find the right amount of children, it can be a really good session. They will inspire each other, and they will learn from each other. Yeah, so I really like that. I believe that what I want to achieve with them is rivalry, fair play. So that's what I say on I think that's the best thing what the coach is wishing for, to see its players playing with each other, rival each other, and alongside with fair play. I think I'm looking for that one.
For as an parent, as a parent, sorry, as a role of parent, like, what do you think that they can do for the children at home, like to continue inspire out of like the court? Like, how do they motivate them to come to the training in order to have them consistently get trained and then improve their skill?
So this is a really sensitive topic, and I'm trying to be very diplomatic here. So I think as a parent, they don't need to be a badminton coach because it's not really important for them to have the knowledge. I think providing love and just support no matter what happens is the most important thing. So I kind of disagree when the parents trying to save the children from some bad things like losing a match or when they are struggling physically, they're having hard times. They just need to become stronger, and they are not suffering, like they're not, how to say that, so they are not like weak and it's a bad thing. I mean, they are weak, they are just struggling in his childhood, and that's normal. They just need time and some encouragement, that it will get better. It does not need to. I think a parent doesn't need to go into detail. So that's what I was struggling with my own daughter. She's doing athletics and sometimes representing Cheshire. And, as a coach, I think I do lots of things better than you. I mean, like my daughter. And I just need to shut my mouth sometimes and not saying anything. I'm just saying that, okay, that was good. Or next time will be better. But if you're talking about the parents who has a child who really thinking about it seriously, they should become a strength and conditioning coach rather than a badminton coach. So I don't think that badminton is that difficult. So you can learn the basic things in a couple of years. The basic things, the fundamental things. And I'm talking about really good lifts and really good clears and really good smashes and really good position. And as you grow up, it will become difficult again. But in a couple of years, you can learn the basics, what you can bring through your whole career if you're lucky and meet with a good coach. I think lots of children here are lucky to have that opportunity. So strength and conditioning is rather a big problem for the ones who wants to take it serious. It's not really straightforward how to train a child. So you've got you can find lots of videos on YouTube, like how to train, like, I don't know, Jenny and Greg, and how to train like a badminton athlete. But these are not really applying for children, or at least not on the scale as they are doing it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I guess it's just
a bit
different. Yeah. So okay, that's enough about talking about children. Maybe how about your club? Like, how about the network that you talk about? Could you introduce us about that, please?
So I've got over 100 children who are attending the sessions a week, which is really good. It depends of sometimes it's lower or higher based on life. They are doing exams and stuff. But I think that's usually we've got a really good turn up. Some of them learning quicker, some of them learning slower. But that's absolutely fine. I really want to support everybody on their journey. If they want some help, I can help them anytime. They can find me on the phone as well. I don't really encourage children to get in touch with me on the phone, but sometimes this just happens. Well, the network is doing fine. We can do some more sessions in the future, which I'm aiming for. It would be great if we could make more tournaments. So I think for the next step for the network to find out how to do more tournaments, because the tournament experience is quite important. I've got lots of tournaments in my junior time. So I've got about, I don't know, while I was a junior, I've got about, I don't know, 150 or 200 tournaments, because that was an amateur tournament every single weekend where I lived. And I could play against adults. So it's really an irreplaceable experience for me in my childhood. So that's what I want to achieve with the network, to have more tournament experience. And we don't have an adult section as of yet, so maybe it could be something else we can start with. Yeah, network-wise is something like that.
For audience out there, it's called Sunday Network, and then Frank is playing in the one youth zone. Is that a zone is that a place or?
So it's a big building for children, and you can have lots of activities, like you can do boxing or climbing, wall climbing. You can do singing. You can do lots of things. I don't know. They are advertising it like there's over 20 activities in every session. They call a session a couple of hours. So one session, the evening session, starts at 4 or 5 o'clock till 8 or 9. Yeah. So it's a long thing, and they really, the staff is brilliant. They just really try to do their best. They try to be as inclusive as possible. It's just a brilliant place. So the big advantage here is that in the gym there's a personal trainer, so children can simply walk in. They're asking the personal trainer what to do for badminton. The personal trainer helps. They can do the job. After, they can pop down for a training, and they can do the gym like every second day. So there's a difference between juniors and seniors, and juniors from 7 to 12, if I'm right, they can attend on separate days. So they are not mixing all the children together. They are separating them by ages. So I find it really brilliant. And as far as I know, there's quite a lot of youth zones here in the Northwest. I don't know about your place, but it's quite popular in Manchester as well. We also try to make a badminton league between the youth zones. That would be brilliant, I think.
Yeah, I think we have a club that would really teach like youth as well, but then there's no big club that would like do that. Like, I guess like a network connecting different people. I guess that is a very good suggestion to do. Like organizing a tournament for U14, U13 for the not the pro player. I guess that's something that unofficial tournament.
Yeah, the low level tournaments are quite important. That would be really great if we could do more low level tournaments. It would attract a lot more children.
Exactly. Yeah. I know that like one of the things here, like when it comes to tournament, when it comes to the U13, they are always traveling around in the UK. So if we have a regional one, maybe a West Midland one, a unofficial one, that is going to be something interesting to do. Anyway, okay, Frank. I think it's been like half an hour already. I think we should wrap up the podcast. Can you tell the audience where can they find you if they want to join a youth club in near Manchester or near Warrington?
So I'm operating in Warrington mostly, and well, they can find me on sunrisebadminton.com or coachfrank.uk. These are the two sites I'm managing. Yeah, I think that's the best way to find me online. We have 4 locations, so Padgate Academy and the Youth Zone is just 2 of them, where our own sessions are. And Great Sankey Neighborhood Hub and Bridgewater Lower School is the other one where they can find us. So we've got 4 locations. Yeah, that makes it a bit difficult to manage everything, but actually that's what I found out, that people don't really want to travel quite a lot in the daytime. You know, sometimes Warrington can be really busy with traffic jams. So actually I can understand that from the side of the parents. Why is it working like that?
Yeah. Okay, I wish I put them in the show notes, the website and the 2 websites that Frank just mentioned. You can just open it from our Spotify podcast or Apple Podcast. I think that wraps up today's episode. If you guys enjoyed the episode, remember to like and subscribe, and make sure you check out Frank's website in our notes, and hopefully we can improve our skill set for juniors or adults in the future. All right, thank you, Frank. Talk to you soon.
Thank you. Bye.
Yeah.